So welcome everybody to the Kāhili Paʻa Lima Workshop, and sponsored really by Tercia Ku, and you see Tercia there, and she's from Papaʻola Lokahi, which she's going to tell us a little bit about her organization for Native Hawaiians. And Tercia has been so generous. She and her program provided all of the supplies except for the stands. Our stands this time were made by Hussey, and Juli and Shawna helped varnish them, or I guess stain them. So thank you everybody for your help in all of that. And of course, thank you all for being here today for participating. So take it away, Tercia. I think you wanted everyone to sort of introduce themselves. Well, yes, actually, I'm going to follow a little protocol this time. So aloha, mai kako, my name is Tercia. La'amai kahiki o Kāhili Ku. One of the things that Papaʻola Lokahi has done this past year is we've worked remotely. And with that, one of the things we do is we open our meetings with Oli. So I am going to share an Oli with you, hoping that maybe some of you can join me. If not, no worry. If you just follow us along. Basically, this is an Oli that looks to health. And it really speaks to Hi'iaka, which of course is Pele's sister. And this is normally a morning Oli, but I figured since we're really centered on Native Hawaiian health that this would be a very good Oli to begin with. Does anybody know this Oli? Raise your hand if you know this Oli. No? How about those from Iao School? Nobody? Nobody knows this? Okay. Well, you are going to get the gift of Tercia doing the Oli. Yay! Okay. Makaukau pa.
Hi.
Ihiaka pahaoi ihialo. I kakahiaka ne. I kalaau o ke kaukau ali'i. I nui ke aho. A hiki a mauli ola. I ola nā mihi nauli. I ola ia mauli ola. I hiaka pahaoi ihialo. I kakahiaka ne. I kalaau o ke kaukau ali'i. I nui ke aho. A hiki a mauli ola. I ola nā mahi nauli. I ola ia mauli ola. I hiaka pahaoi i hialo. I kakahiaka ne. I kalaau a ke kaukau ali'i. I nui ke aho. A hiki a mauli ola. I ola nā mahi nauli. I ola ia mauli ola. Mahalo for allowing us to open our time together with this Oli of health and beginning. So with that, I would really love to meet each of you. So I'm just going to give you a sample introduction. I'd like to learn your name, where you are, meaning where do you live or come from, and what you do, as well as the status of your feather picks. So again, my name is Tercia Ku. I am the Data and Research Coordinator for Papaʻola Lokahi. I am also the coordinator for the Imi Hawaii Hale, which is the Data and Research Hale. I have been blessed to also be the kumu for the Kāhili making workshops. We have done them nationwide. So thank you for including yourself in this activity. We really truly believe that Native Hawaiian health is centered around what we do, what we eat, who we are, and how we live. Kahili making and many of our Native Hawaiian activities really are to help impact our health in a positive way. So I don't know if, but this is a very relaxing activity, only because it's really a time to do an exercise that really doesn't take much thought. It really doesn't take much attention, and it allows us to almost escape our real life out there. I hope you don't think that this is a stressful time together. It's not a contest. Know that what you are creating, although you've created it with your hands, it's like children, right? When you have a child, you don't know what the child's going to look like. You kind of have an idea. So when your children are born, they're beautiful no matter what happens, right? The kahili is very similar to that. You are creating a kahili out of your own hands and out of your mana. And for those of you who are working with others, I would really encourage you to really exchange pics if you have, because the mana from those around you will go into the kahili you're creating. Doesn't have to be a lot, it could just be one. You might even want to save a place to exchange a pic with someone. Just know that our spirit goes into everything we create, children included. I will be able to share more with you about Papa'ola Lokahi, who we are and what we do and our responsibilities. I wanted to share with you that I haven't done all of my picks, but I chose yellow and red today, only because my son lives in Arizona, and those are the cousin colors that I think really apply to the area he lives in. So with that, I'm going to take it away to Joyce.
Why, thank you, Tercia. So I'm Joyce Yamada. I'm the Professional Development Coordinator here at Maui College. And I'm so grateful for Tercia and for all that she's done for us. We are going to be making a 2 legacy size kahili with Tercia's help. So I will need all of your help as well, and including Iao School people, if you want to come and join us and help us make this, the gigantic kahili that we can bring out for special occasions. And really, we'll even have enough feathers in our colors so that we can all make one for our desk or for our office. So thank you. And I'm gonna just popcorn it on to Lee.
Hello, hi everyone. How are all of you? I'm Kāhili from Haiku. I live in Haiku, and I work for the nursing department on the campus. I'm their office assistant. I've been there about 4 years. Well, not with the department, but with the campus. And this is my second workshop, and I'm just grateful to have had the opportunity to learn and to finish my kahili. I have so much compliments on my first one, so I wanted to make another one. And practice makes perfect. So thank you, Tercia. There's my pick.
Oh, beautiful. Good job. You're an expert now.
And I wanted to mention that both Lee and Talia said that they would co-chair the Legacy Kahili with me. So we'll be seeing more of Lee and Talia for that. Thank you both for volunteering.
Linda.
Oh, okay, sorry. Go ahead.
You're on mute.
Hello. Yeah. Hello. Yes. Get it over with quick. We learned that in school. Hi, my name is Linda Fujitani. I'm an academic advisor and counselor here at Maui College. And I'm in my office, But I do live up in Kula. So, you know, make the trek down every day, but we were fortunate to, you know, live on this beautiful island, and the summer weather has been very nice. And Joyce has been working hard with all these professional developments, and she always encourages me to join and participate, but it's always, you know, no, but today's Kāhili workshop really reached out to me, you know, caught my attention, and I really wanted to learn. So that's why, thank you so much, Joyce and Tricia, for, you know, offering, for putting on this
Wonderful.
workshop.
Did you finish your picks,
Oh.
your feather picks?
It's a good thing I read my emails, yeah. But yeah, so here's my, oh, I don't know if you, how you can see it, but
There we go.
yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, so thank you so much for you know, everyone who, from Thomas to making the post, and you know, it is a lot of work, so I really appreciate it. You know, the little I did, you know, it was nothing compared to all the work that went into just the preparation. So thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Who would you like to introduce themselves next?
Okay. Bobby. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bobby. I work for Title III program. I'm here in Kihei today, calling in. Thank you for having this. I've had so much fun so far. I'm halfway there, not yet, but I've really enjoyed this part of it. And I have made one before, and that was fun because we did it in our lab. So it was with community. Like this one I've been working on alone, but this one I did with my office mates, and that was fun. And we did exactly what you said. We traded. So yeah, it added color. So yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be here. Should I call in someone?
Yes, please.
Okay. Sunny.
Hi everyone, I'm Sunny. I have a new position now, so I'm the UH Maui College Teacher Pathway Grant Director. So I'm working on that, and I'm looking forward to this workshop because I feel like I'm improving on my picks. So I've done them. I've done all the 40 of them. So I like yellow. Yellow is my favorite color.
Wonderful.
But thank you so much, Tercia. I mean, you've been such a great help, and watching your videos, it's so informational and helpful. So I appreciate it. And thanks, Joyce, for having us all together. I'll pop over to Monica.
Hi, Monica Yost. I live in Kula as well. Yeah, I'm excited to learn something new. I watched we just came back from 1 month visiting my family in Switzerland, so I'm still a little you know, not there. But I picked up the feather yesterday, and then I watched the clip, and I called Tricia because I was not so clear, and I watched it again, and it was clear. Just I was not so clear, and my daughter helped me. So that was nice when you said that in that clip also, you know, that because I, you know, to put the mana in there and the thoughts and the love.
Yes.
I don't know, but I always have to be reminded because I always forget that, and I appreciate that. So, but she said she's gonna go for a nap now. She's not gonna help with that one, but I'm glad she helped with her feathers. So thank you so much for teaching me, learning new things and new thought process as well. Thank you.
Beautiful job.
And then I go with Rich Young.
Aloha, I'm Rich, and we have, well, I'll have everybody introduce themselves. Thank you so much, Tercia, and Joyce for hosting us, and we really appreciate it. I'm from, well, I just retired. Today is my retirement. July 1st. So you're my retirement party. But to celebrate how we came to be was Jane gave me her beautiful kahili that she had made the last time as a mahalo from the school. And it's gorgeous, just beautiful. So I was like, oh, and I admired it in her office before. I said, oh yeah, I want to learn how to do that. And I was very surprised, you know, so we're here to create some more. Okay, so.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jane. Thank you, Tercia. Thank you, Joyce, for having us here today. We're in Kahakaloa. It's been quite a while since we, like Sandy and I, drove out here. It's just beautiful. We're at Rich's house, and it's a beautiful estate here. So we're kind of spoiled. I'll let Sandy introduce herself.
Hi, I hope you can hear me. I'm kind of sitting way here in the back. I'm so grateful to Jane. She's the one that always seems to find all these wonderful resources and brings it to our school. And with Joyce, she comes up with all kinds of fabulous things. And so Jane, when I saw the kahili, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to learn how to make that. That is so beautiful. And Jane says, we can do that.
Let me ask Joyce.
So that's why we're here.
Thank
And
you,
I'm just so grateful. So I noticed that the girl from Switzerland also had the same colors as I do, the yellow and the dark. And you know, I love yellow because we always associate LED colors. Yeah, the yellow and red. But I like the yellow and the darker because it's like, you know, we have good days and we have bad days. We have the light and we have the dark. And so it's just kind of a reminder to me that in the end, everything balances out, right? And it's all good. So thank you so much for just having this opportunity. And I'm going to give the introduction over to Richard's beautiful wife who is hosting us today here.
Hello, thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. I know Rich is just wants to share the kahili, but Joyce and Tercia, thank you so much. I'm so excited about this. And these are, there we go. Got all 40 done and very excited to see how it all works out.
So this was the one that Jane made and presented to me, and it's just gorgeous.
Chicken skin.
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. There we go. Now everybody can see. Thank you. Mahalo.
Excellent, excellent. Who would you like to introduce themselves next?
I don't know. I can't see anybody else.
Kathleen or Misty?
Okay, Misty.
Misty, you're muted.
Yeah, hi guys.
Oh, there you are.
I live in Wailuku, but I'm at my office right now because the first round I was trying to do it at home and my cat kept eating all the feathers. So I had to do it here. And I finally did get it done. I don't know if you can see with my background.
Excellent.
So hopefully I have enough sticks or picks. I forget what else we're supposed to cover. But thank you very much for the second opportunity. I'm hoping that it brings good things into my life and into work.
Very good. Is this your first time then? Misty?
Well, I was at the first or the
That's
last
right.
one, but then I had to leave.
Yeah.
And then so I'm glad that this second opportunity came up.
Excellent. So what about Kathleen?
Hello. Yeah, mahalo to Tercia and Joyce for this opportunity. It's my first time doing anything like this. Not my first time doing professional development, as you guys all probably know. But trying to learn more about Hawaiian culture. Thanks to Lee, I did know that I had to prepare ahead of time, and she picked up the colors for me. But so my daughter helped me last night. I am in Paia. I just got back from bringing my daughter home from Kamali'i paddling practice. I got a little ambitious and decided to do a paddle while she was doing that. So I cut it a little bit close. So sorry for that. And I'm in my swimsuit, but summer and yeah. So yeah, I'm excited. My only concern is that I have extra feathers because I was concerned. I'd heard in the video and also from Lee, like we probably didn't have enough. So I was making them really small. And then I'm like, I have a bunch left over. So I didn't know if I should go back and put them all in. And then I didn't. So that's kind of my one question starting out is like, is it okay if I didn't use all the feathers? But here's my thing.
So, you know, that looks beautiful. I would say, you know, some people would go back and redo all of them. If you are of that inkling and ambition, sure. But at this point, I would say, I think it's going to turn out beautiful no matter what. You can save the feathers for another, perhaps kahili or another event. You know, originally I packed all the feathers, doing my best. There were some feather packet that Joyce was really concerned because there didn't look to be enough, but I told her I counted it by hand. So there should be enough. So what you have, I believe, is fine, but it's really up to you, Kathleen, as to whether you prefer. You know, sometimes I will put a whole kahili together and then take it apart because there's a look that I expected and it wasn't there. But like I shared with you, you know, we're creating almost like a child. And so you love what you've created. So up to you. We'll leave it at that and see how you feel at the end of the workshop. Okay.
Thomas and Julie, and there you go. There's Julie.
Hi, aloha. Oh my gosh, how scary I look on the big TV. My name is Juli Patao, and I'm thankful for everything everyone's done to get us to this point of putting it together and just being able to share quality time with friends. I did some of my picks, not all, and I did the first class. I don't know how long ago was that.
Last year?
Ago.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
about
yeah.
3 years ago. Remember, Tercia, when you
Oh,
came?
that's right.
The one the
Yes,
lights turned off.
that's right. That's right.
The little one, the little kahili.
That's right.
So thank you again, passing you off.
There you go.
Hi, Thomas Hussey. I've done this the last class you had. I made the basis for you folks, so. So I enjoy it. That's why I'm like to do it again. Thank you.
Good to have you, Thomas.
Okay, next. Oh, that's someone.
Okay, I had to turn off the main TV so no more backlash or reverb.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Talia. I'm thankful that I get to do another kahili. It's my second time because it was a lot of fun the first time, so we wanted to do it again. So thank you again for everything.
Very good. So Joyce, is there anybody else? Are we miss? Oh, no.
Leanne.
Hi, I'm Leanne.
This is my second time doing the Kāhili. I'm thankful I get this opportunity again. However, I didn't finish all my picks, so I'm helping Flora.
Hi, I'm Flora Mora. This is the first time I'm participating in professional development, so this is like groundbreaking. So I'm excited to make my Kāhili, and I'm glad I have help. So plenty mana going around here on the picks.
The yellow and black picks.
Oh, beautiful.
I did
Yes.
about half on my own, and now I have friends to help me with the rest.
Excellent. Excellent. Anybody else, Joyce?
Well, I wanted to mention that Jane is a registrar at Iao and Flora is the registrar at Maui College. So we
Oh.
have some connection there.
Very good. Very good. I did want to mention, Joyce did mention the ceremonial Kāhili that will be, that we'll start to put together. We are going to be creating kits for you to take home and help us really begin the process of doing the feather picks. Similar to what you made for this Kāhili, we're doing feather picks for the ceremonial Kāhilis. But we're doing thousands and thousands and thousands. So our hope is that all of you will involve yourself. We want to get as many staff and as many students to contribute to the Kāhili, because as I shared, your mana goes into the Kāhili. And of course, we will document everybody who's contributed and have that listed for people who want to know the history of the Kāhili, for the ceremonial Kāhili. There will be a pair of them. They will be at least 10 feet tall. And so they're going to be the ones that you see at the palace, at the Bishop Museum, very similar. Ones that the college can call their own, as well as there will more than likely be some sort of contest to name them. Because in truth, after you make your Kāhili, you should think about a name, because they become like a being. They aren't a thing anymore. They're a creation of you. And so when I use the analogy of a child, I almost deeply feel that they are a being, and in truth, they should never ever lie on their side. They should always be upright. Even when you travel with them, they need to be cared for in a way that respects them and what they stand for. So I hope you don't mind if we just get started. So let me give you just a little background. Kāhili were made really because they were a royal feather standard for the ali'i of Hawaii. They were made by the feathers of birds because it was believed that the birds could fly high in the sky next to the heavens. And ali'i were considered almost godly from the heavens. So the feathers are really a kapu item, limited only to ali'i, limited only to chief status. We currently do this, not necessarily because we're kings and queens, although I think in many of our households we are. I think we do this to reflect upon our history and the respect of those who really came out of a time where our people were cared for and had purpose, and in many respects were healthy. Everyone was given a specific job. A family was given a specific purpose under the watchful eye of an ali'i, usually in an ahupua'a. So many times I just limit my feather colors to what was back in that day. So black and red and yellow and some brown, not too much brown, were the feather colors that were utilized in that day. I know for Maui College, a ceremonial kahili will be, colors will be, I believe, blue and pink, because those are the colors for the college. Know that you can make your kahili any color you want. It is a different time now. So, but most of you got yellow, red, brown, or black. So I'm really grateful that you were able, for most of you, to get all of your picks done. What we've learned is sometimes it's a 2-hour period of time is really not long enough for you to do your picks and to attach your feathers to the dowel. So we're just going to dive right in. All of you should have the larger dowel. Some of you may have a small dowel from days past, but I believe we're working with the large dowel. Now, 40 picks means that you're going to have 8 rows down your dowel with 5 picks per row. Okay. So for those of you, you know, I like my kahili to kind of be balanced and the feathers to not only be equally placed around the dowel, but equally placed along the dowel going down so that it looks balanced and doesn't look like all of the feathers are on one side or the other, or squished here or squished there. It's also important to kind of measure around the dowel because there are actually large spaces between each pick. We just don't have the feathers or the supplies to be able to really diminish the spaces around. That would take quite a bit of supplies and funds. But there's more than enough with the 40 picks that we have and for the feathers that you've attached to them.
Excuse me, Tercia?
Yes.
I just had a question because for the one that I made before, it was, I think, 6 rows, 7, 6, 6, 6, 4 rows of 6, and then another 7. So is that the way, or are we doing it a different way this time?
I don't know. Where did you get that 6, 6, 6, 7? Do you know where you got that?
That was from our last class. The first 2 rows were, the first and the last row was 6 picks. And then the 4 rows in between were 7 picks.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was something like that, but I know it was 6 rows.
Did it equal the 40 picks?
Yeah.
Yes.
So how did we do? So
the 6 on the top, on the first row, 6 on the last row, and we had 4 rows of 7 picks.
Oh.
I know, so much math in the afternoon. Later.
You know what? I didn't know that because I've been doing the 4 5s. Did you? Okay, so it would have meant that the kahili would, I guess, then let's do it the way we did it the last time. I need to write that down so I remember it. Because this is a bigger stick, a thicker stick. So 7 on the first, no, 6 on the first, 6 on the last, and 4 7s in between for a total of 6 rows, right? Is that right? 5 rows, 6 on the top, 6 on the bottom, and 4 7s in between. I think that's
Somebody
6.
bust out your calculator.
No, I think that's 6.
Yes,
Isn't that
that's
6?
correct. 28 plus 12 is 40.
Yes. 28 plus 1. So first row, 6. Second row, 7. Third row, 7. Fourth row, 7. Fifth row, 7. Sixth row, 6.
And does the top have, like, if I have a bunch of just black ones, can I put those on just the top?
I'm sorry, what did you ask the question again?
If I have a bunch of black ones, can I just put the black ones on the top and then make the rest of it yellow and black mixed?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Which is why we had, you know, you had these styrofoam plates. And what I like to use them for is really to place my picks so that I can get an idea of how it's going to look on my dowel. Okay. If I place them a certain way, then they're going to look that way on my dowel. If I mix them up, they'll look that way on my dowel. I think it's really important for you folks to know, and I think I described it in the video, that the crown should have the feathers more like a flower, right? So that the feathers basically cover the top of the dowel, whereas on the side of the dowel going down, all the feathers should be on one side. So let me show you. For instance, this is one of my crown feathers. You can see the feathers kind of go at least 2 ways. It's more like a flower. Whereas the picks that go down the side of the dowel, most of them are on one side, and this will be away from the dowel. So, okay, thank you for correcting me as to the number of picks. So the most important thing then, if we're going to have 6 picks on the top, 6 picks on the bottom, is basically to start off by drawing a line at the top of your stick with a pen, something that you can see. I know it's kind of dark, but if you can see yourself drawing a line down, and then since you're going to have 6 picks, you want to draw 6 lines total. So your first line and 5 other lines equidistant from each other, so that when you put the pick on, when you put all 5 of the picks on, they are 6, they are equidistant from each other. Okay. So I see some are already starting to put their picks on top. So I would recommend that you go ahead and draw your lines. Once you've drawn your lines for the 6 picks at the top, then you can basically begin to apply your picks to the wooden dowel by cutting a piece of floral tape that you have. You know, I'm going to, let me make my marks on my dowel. Although I still like the 5/8. But I will try this. Okay.
Sorry, did you say how far on the dowel do you make the top, of the feather or the bottom of the pick?
Okay, so I've made my marks. What you're going to do is basically you're going to place your pick. Well, let me cut a little floral tape. I have to find the front. Well, this floral tape, it doesn't look like it has a start. Hold on just a moment. It's not funny. It should be your pick should lie flat on the dowel.
So Tercia, that copper, that wire goes all the way around. There's no
Yeah.
loose ends. Okay.
There's no loose ends. It's supposed to securely keep the feathers on the pick. So I am going to put my first crown feather on my dowel by lining it up straight. Okay, by basically lining it up straight along the line that I've drawn, which is hard to tell because it's so dark. Let's see here.
It's
Okay.
good to use chalk.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah.
Something white. So I've basically lined it up so that it lays flat on the dowel. And then I'm taking my floral tape. Now, floral tape isn't necessarily outright sticky, but when you stretch it, it kind of sticks to each other. So I'm stretching it while wrapping it around the dowel and around the pick straight so that it's really covering the pick. And I'm going to just wrap it completely around, making sure that the pick is remains up and down. So if you can see, it's almost like the bottom of where the feathers are. This is where it's connected to the pick. Here's where the bottom of the feathers are. It's actually the top of the dowel. Okay. Can everybody kind of see that? And it's still up and down. Now my next pick is going to go on my next line that I've drawn that's equally distant. You know what? I am going to get a little chalk. I actually bought one today. Right back so that you can see it as well. So I bought this little chalk pen. I hope it works. Here it is. Oh yeah. So can you see that little line on my, yeah, much better. So I'm actually going to draw all my lines so that you can see them on my little So I've drawn my lines on my dowel and you can see them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only drew 5. I'm only drawing 5. So you know what? I'm going to go for the 5 to see if it works out. And then I'll take it apart when I'm unhappy with it. But so this is my second pick. Again, you'll need your piece of floral tape. Second pick. You want to place it really close on top of your chalked line or your mark on your stick, making sure that it really matches the other pick that is clearly parallel. And then again, you're going to attach it with the floral tape, stretching the floral tape around it, making sure that the bottom of it is at the same level as the previous pick. So this was my first pick. This is my second pick. First pick, second pick, you can tell that they're parallel to each other and they're parallel to the dowel. Okay. So for this whole row, you are going to do the same thing. Take your picks that are your crown picks, put it on the next mark on your dowel and attaching it to the dowel with the floral piece of tape, a piece that you've cut. Okay. So again, I'm looking at my drawn line. I'm going to put my pick right on the line, making sure that it's firmly placed there, and then holding it down with my thumb and forefinger, and then taking my floral tape and wrapping it around tightly so that it completely goes around the pick and the dowel and stays securely on the dowel. So now I have 1, 2, 3 picks. Okay. So really, each row, this is how you handle each row. When you come to the second row, I will show you how to do that. Again, add your next pick, firmly placing it on top of the dowel, like that. And then taking your floral tape, wrapping it around securely, making sure you go completely around, wrapping it on top of this, the tape that's below it. Again, this is what it looks like. It's very, I'm going to lift it up a little bit because I can, so that the bottom is similar to where the bottom of the other picks are at. Okay. And they're all parallel to one another. So I've put 4. Again, floral tape, cut a piece, crown feather pick, lay it on top of your dowel along the line that you've drawn, just like that. Looking to make sure that it's parallel to the other pieces and the bottoms match similarly. And then again, hold it firmly. Use your floral tape, stretch it around, put it on top of each other. And as you're adding the floral tape to the one pick you're putting on, you're actually also covering the other picks so that they're more securely attached to the dowel. So this is basically the crown of my dowel. This is what it looks like. So I only put 5, but for those of you who put 6, it's okay. It will look a little fuller than mine has, but you'll see on the next row that I am about to add what happens as we go down the dowel. So for those of you who are doing the 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 6, what you're going to do is you need a ruler because you're going to measure where the next row is going to end. So let me get my ruler. So because you're not doing 8 rows, you're doing 7 rows, you're going to have, normally when we do 8 rows, we can actually separate the rows by 1 inch, which will bring down the feathers 8 inches, okay? You're gonna lose a little room when you're doing that with the 7 rows. So we're just gonna bump it up a little and bring it down about 1 inch. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. From the bottom of the pick above, or the first row of picks, I'm going to measure about 1 1/4. I'm going to take my little pen. I guess I think this is really good, the chalk pen. And I'm going to mark a line on my dowel, which is where my second row feathers are going to be. So second row feathers, know that you are going to basically line them up on your dowel with the feathers going away from the dowel, not toward the dowel, because then you're not going to see feathers. So, and in between these 2 picks, in between each pick, you're going to line the pick right between the 2 of them, like that. Here, let me, so I can show you a little better. Right between the 2 picks and on top of the line that you've drawn. So for those of you who only have 7 rows, that's going to be 1 1/4 inches below, okay? And you would attach this the same way you attached the first crown row, is with your floral tape, making sure that you, of course, assure that the feathers are, the pick is parallel to the dowel and is in between the 2 picks above, okay? So again, your floral tape, holding the pick firmly, wrap around the floral tape. And in this, actually, the floral tape's also going around the bottom or the picks that are in the upper row. So that's kind of what it looks like, okay? And all the feathers are basically away from the dowel. You're going to place each feather pick in this row between each of the picks in the first row, okay? And making sure that the pick basically is even with the line that you drew of the first pick that you placed. Are there any questions? I see. Yes.
Can you say that you place them in between the two ones, in the middle of the two ones?
Yes. See, from the first row, here's a pick and here's a pick. This is my second row pick, which is right in the middle of those two picks. The next one I'm going to place in the middle of the next set of picks, right? And the next pick I'm going to place is in the middle of the next set of picks. So they're all going to be evenly spaced around the dowel between each set of picks in the previous row. Does that make sense, Monica?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Tercia?
Yes.
This is Linda. Just want to, I'm doing the way you did it. You know, I took the 5. Yeah, I thought that was
Okay.
enough. Yeah, enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm going to the next row. About how many inches, or from the, you know, bottom of the first row to the next?
So that is where your ruler comes in. You see, I'm gonna take the pick that I put on here so that you can see the row that we just completed, the first row, okay? So this is these feathers on the top, of which I just did 5. Basically are all about the same. I placed them in the same place. So I took my ruler and I measured from the bottom of that pick above about 1.25 inches. If you're going to have eight rows, you don't need 1.25 inches. You need just 1 inch. But because most people, I think, are going to do the 7/6 or the 6/7/6, they'll need that 1.25 inches because they've lost 1 inch. But really, for those that are doing the 5/8, you really need 1 inch. So it's really 1 inch below the bottom of the previous pick.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So once you place your feather pick in between the 2 picks from the previous row, that's where the others will go as well. They'll go each in between those 2 picks.
And is that mark, the mark you made, the 1.25 inches down, where do we aim for that mark to be on this pick? Is it the top, or do we pretend it's the new top?
No, it's actually, hold on, let me find my pick. I put it down. So the mark at that is 1 inch or 1.25 inches. That's where the bottom of this pick goes, right? It's going in between those 2 picks, but the bottom of the pick is going to be on that line. Do you see that? So that's the inch below, or 1.25 inches below the bottom of the pick in the first row. I am putting my second row pick on just above that line. And that's what I will attach. I will attach it that way. So this becomes the second row of feathers. And then the third row, again, I'm going to measure down, make a line, and then add the next row of feathers on that imaginary line around the dowel, and place the picks in between the 2 picks in the previous row. Okay. Anybody need me to repeat that again? Okay. Any questions? I feel like everybody is attentive and doing their work. Okay. Again, I'm placing my second row pick on top of the line that I've drawn, and then placing it in between 2 picks from the first row of picks that I've created, the first row, and taking my tape, my floral tape, and attaching it to the dowel. Okay. That's how each row continues. Basically, once you're done with the second row and you move on to the third row, you will take your ruler, measure it down from the bottom of the previous row of picks, place your pick, the bottom of your pick on top of that row, in between the 2 picks from the previous row. Okay, I placed the first pick from my first pick on my second row. I'm going to place the second pick on my second row by basically looking at where I placed the first pick, placing the pick in between the next set of picks in between, as well as looking at how it's being compared or on the same imaginary line as the first pick. And then just attaching it with floral tape. Just a small, I mean, it's probably 4 to 6 inches of floral tape that I use to attach each pick to the dowel. And when I'm attaching it, it basically goes over the first pick that I attached. And I make sure that my feathers are going away from the dowel and not smashed up against the dowel, because then the feathers, you won't get to see it. So first pick in between the 2 picks above, second pick in between the next 2 picks. My third pick will go in between the next 2, and I'm going to place it approximately at the same level as the pick that I just put down. So I'm going to cut my piece of floral tape, take my pick, place it between the 2 picks in the row above, as well as closely aligned with the pick that I already have there. Just like that, make sure it's flat. And then use the floral tape to attach it to my dowel, making sure that the pick is perpendicular to the picks I've placed, both in the first row and in the second row. And then there you go. So it's just a matter of continuing to attach the picks to the dowel using the floral tape. When I add a row, I'm going to measure from the bottom of the pick in that row down, depending on which feather configuration. It'll be either 1 inch or 1.25 inches, And that's where I will lay my next row of feathers on that new row created. So this is my fourth pick. Again, I have placed it between the two picks in the first row, parallel to the pick I've just laid down, and making sure that the bottom of the pick is a similar placement, and then use my floral tape to attach that pick to the dowel. Okay. So really the rest of the workshop, it's about placing your picks on your dowel and how that will look. So I'm going to add my last pick in my second row. And then work on my third row. This is my last pick in my second row. I have basically a set of picks from the previous row. The only set that doesn't have a pick in between. I will place this in between, aligning it with both the pick before and after, at least the bottom of it, like that. Here's the before pick, here's the after pick. And then I will attach it to the dowel. Okay. So far, this is how my kahili looks. As you can see, it's not perfect. It does have personality. I have one row of feathers, which is just yellow. And the second row has a little yellow and red. And from an old workshop, we had some orange. So I put some orange. I haven't made the rest of my picks. So I'm going to do that right now. Does anybody have any questions? No? Oh, Monica, you're looking like you're really progressing. How are you doing, Bobby? They look like they're working hard too. Everybody looks like they're working hard. Does anybody have any questions?
I have one question.
Yes.
So I started with 6, and then if you do something in between each of 6, isn't that 6 instead of 7?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you end up with 7? I thought we were aiming at 7.
So the reason we did 7 was to make it a little fuller.
Okay.
So do your best to try to insert the feather into the row equidistant from everybody.
Okay, so it's not going to fit in gaps because there's only 6 gaps between the
That's
row.
right. That's right. That's right. But you won't be able to tell very much that there's only, because what's going to happen is your last row is also going to be 6. So you have to fit 6 feathers into 7 spaces.
So Tercia, this is Linda. So I'm sorry, can you repeat the third row? So the third row, I'm working on the third row and I started with 5.
So the third row is just like the second row. You measure from the second row, the bottom of the pick, down 1 inch, And that's where you're going to place the first third row pick. The bottom of it is going to be on that place that you marked an inch. In between two of the picks from the second row.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I was wondering. Where do I place it? Because now there's like three, there's three sticks coming down. So do I put it in the middle of the side? But it's right on
You're
top.
putting it in the middle. There's three sticks, but you know what? You're putting it on top, almost on top of the short one that's in the first row.
Right, right. Okay, okay. Yeah,
In
that
between-
was my question.
Yeah, yeah.
Where does it go? There's no space. There's, okay.
Oh, there should be plenty space,
I think-
especially on this dowel.
Okay.
Can you show me your dowel? Put it close to your camera.
Can you?
Yeah, okay. Pull it up just a little bit. Okay, pull it up. Yeah, so I could see the, pull the feathers up. Actually, take off your virtual background.
Take off my virtual. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the virtual background kind of makes it
Yeah.
all funky.
Your
Okay.
virtual background hides work
Okay.
that you're trying to share. So if you just go down and remove it.
I'm not that good, with okay.
Do you know where to find it?
Yeah, I
And
said select a camera. So
it says, well, so you're in Zoom, right?
yes.
Go to the left-hand side near the bottom of the screen, and you should see stop video, right? Do you see stop video?
Yes.
Okay, click on that up arrow.
Yes.
And then click on the up arrow and it says choose virtual background.
Yes.
Click virtual background
Yes.
and then click on none. On none. Do you see none as your selected background?
I have my other ones, but virtual
Yeah. Background, virtual background, and go up because it'll probably.
Oh, I see. Yes. None. Right. Okay.
Click on none
Okay.
and then close the window with the little X in the corner.
All right.
Oh, there you go. Now I see you.
Now you see, yeah. But I see what you mean. Yeah, I didn't go up all the way, but there's, I mean.
So let me see what your kahili looks like. Yeah, you should just be able to move the kahili in. And I'm wanting to see your picks along your dowel.
Oh, okay. So you can see the.
Okay, I move it up just a little bit so I can see. Oh, now move it up there. Okay, so it's hard to see all of your picks. So I'm going to show you kind of mine.
Yeah.
If you take a look, you can see my last row of picks and the fact that there's spaces in between them. My first row is picks are covered. You can see that there's a pick from the first row.
Right.
Here's a pick from the first row. But the more recent row, all the picks I can see, and there's plenty of room in between them.
Right.
And
Okay.
that's where my next row of picks are going. In between them, right? Right here, right there,
Okay.
right there. And I'm going to make my mark at least an inch below so that the bottom of my next row, the pick will go right there in between this row. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
And I also learned something. I didn't know I could mix the feathers up. I'm so, I thought you know, that's why when I was putting the feathers together, I made, you know, all yellow,
Yeah.
all black. When
Yeah.
I'm thinking, yeah, I like the idea, kind of mixing it up, you know? I didn't think
So-
about that.
So not only can you mix the feathers up, you can mix the picks up, which means I would look at how many colored picks you have and would arrange them on my plate so that maybe I have yellow, black, red, yellow, black, red, yellow, black, red.
Yeah.
Rather than putting all the yellows together or all the blacks together and all the reds together, I would mix them within attaching them to the dowel.
Tercia, you know, I said this was like my first workshop. That's because I don't think I'm very artistic. That's why I'm not very, you know, creative. So that's why I'm very, okay, just do it, you know, but that's why, yeah,
No, you know what? Everybody is a little different. And I think some people who are more rebellious and want to think outside of the box would more than likely do their own thing, mix colors, mix feathers, mix picks to be more
right,
maybe creative in a sense.
yes.
But I think whatever you're making is going to turn out beautiful. I think you'll be surprised. But that's what these trays were for, is to be able to use it as a template to see what it would look like on your dowel. So arranging your picks by color or by, well, by color really, or even by number. I mean, the 6777776 has a little bit different look than the 5/8 that I'm used to, but both you're able to do. I mean, you could even add more feather picks to make it more full, but I think standard is that, I mean, I think I am not unhappy with the way this one looks, and I've just used 10 feathers. So I'm going to make the rest of my picks so that I can finish mine. It is.
Thank you. So, so Tercia, we're doing the 5. If we do the 5, it'll be 5
8s. So 5 rows of 8. 8 rows of 5. I'm sorry. There will be 8 rows of 5 picks on a dowel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other one is, yeah, 67776. Okay. I think I'm one of those. I might take it off and try again.
Whatever you'd like to do. This is for you to do. I'm going to the Zoom is open for any questions as I continue to make my picks. Because the next part is about how we are going to cover our picks with the rat tail to finish it off, and then how we are going to attach our kukui nuts to the rat tail. And that's really it. Right now, it's about completing attaching our dowels to our picks. No, our picks to our dowels, sorry. So any questions, please ask. Otherwise, I might put some, in fact, I think I will. I'm going to put some low volume Hawaiian music, if that's okay. As everybody works, I will, please let me know by saying, hey, Tercia, to get my attention, because otherwise I'm just going to continue to do the work as well. Okay, so let me play this.
Straight to the door. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken hearts. To be safe, start. Run away, they say, knowing my love you lies in love. But won't let them break me down, 'cause I know that there's a place for your glory. Wanna drop this flag when they cut me down. I'm gonna sing this song to the dragon now. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching out to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies, best of me. This is me. Fire away, 'cause today we're gonna let the shame sink in. We're bursting through the barricades, reaching for the side. Yeah, that's what we become. Won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. We are warriors. When the strongest words won't cut me down. The same applies to the time now. I am free, I am bruised, I am born to be. This is me. Look out, here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat of drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Samoa, manu manu I leu pena. Ao iru e se te roto alofa. Samoa mole, Samoa. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, when I say the flood, then we drown him out. This is red, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me. Look out, it's your watching out to the beat of drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. The sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna cut me down. See the blood in the jar and I am red, I am bruised, I am cool. I'm not scared. Look out, 'cause here I come. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat of drum. This is me. Kai ko o ka moana kailana nei Hawaii nau e wehe a halulu ka honua a haumea na kulukulu e kalani ki e ka mai luna au e ke aloha ole a ka malihini.
Because your passion never runs out, you deserve monthly income that does the same. In over 100 years, we've never missed a payment. Guaranteed monthly income for life when you retire.
I love my grandma every minute, every hour on the island. We do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. On the island, we do it island style. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. From the windward to the leeward side. From the mountain to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. Oh, EVA. Oh, EVA. Waike maine, one halawe. Eia maila.
You guys get to watch Uncle Jack make a lot of mistakes. OPO TV.
Seven dwarfs.
From the mountains to the ocean, from the windward to the leeward side. Welcome to Opio TV.
Tell your story from your place.
When you book with Expedia,
How is everyone doing? Are you folks good?
My ka'i. I love the
Very-
music.
Oh, very good. Okay, I'm going to check back with Joyce. How are you folks doing? I see you. Everything good?
Yes, everything is doing very well. Julie, show.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
And Julie is, can you turn on the thing?
Oh, sorry.
I'm wondering if you would like me to begin to demonstrate the rat tail.
Yes, that would be great. In fact, Julie is doing a little braid on hers, which is very fancy.
Oh.
And Julie can show them your little braid. I don't know if you can see that, but
Oh.
it's really kind of cool.
It's
Wow,
like a pattern 2 over 2 under on your last string.
And that was something that Thomas is suggesting. So I'm hoping that he'll put his mana on mine and do mine for me.
Oh, how wonderful. Well, okay. So let me just, let me do the,
Wait, I'm gonna make it louder.
so I am not done. I've only done 3 rows, but I'm going to demonstrate how to do the rat tail. So at this point, you're at the bottom of your last row. I would recommend wrapping all of the feathered picks with floral tape to smooth them down up against your dowel. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to wrap the rest of my floral picks so that I have a nice smooth surface to add my rat tail. I really like that idea of a pattern or a braid on the rat tail, but I right now I'm not, unless I see it done, it's hard for me to imagine how to do it. So I'm just teaching you an easy method of, oh, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, as I look at my thing, I notice it's just a little out of balance. So I'm moving some picks closer to each other. Yeah, and I think we're better. So I'm wrapping all of the picks with floral tape, mostly to cover up the picks and to make putting down the rat tail on top of it a little smoother. Okay. Okay. And I basically am wrapping it all the way to just below the pick. Okay. So most of you, if not all of you, can see that I have wrapped, you cannot see the picks any longer because they're covered up by floral tape. I am going to take, I'm not sure what's easier for you to see, the red or the white. I'm not the white, the yellow.
I can see red better.
Red, okay. Let me do the red. So basically, I'm going to undo the red rat tail. I'm going to take one end and basically drop it to the end of the long dowel. So it's going to be dropped one end to the end of the long dowel, and I'm going to run it up the dowel to basically above the tape so that I can begin to wrap not only the dowel and the feathers and the picks with basically this rat tail. This rat tail is going to finish the bottom of the kahili. So as you wrap it, you are basically, okay, I'm going to show it like this so that you can see. I am wrapping it so that it's really tight. Oh, can you see it? It's hard for me to see. So it's really tight and together and finishes the bottom. The light is right in my face. So I'm turning the dowel and wrapping the rat tail so that it's really close together. Okay, like this. And at places, it's going to go over the rat tail that ran up the dowel. Okay. So I hope you can see that. I'm just turning the dowel, wrapping the rat tail, making it as tight as I can, because it's almost like a finishing ribbon. It'll cover up all of the floral tape so that like it's a finished kahili. Now in the past, what we used to do is we used rat tail and then we covered it up with ribbon so that it was much easier. This way we're using rat tail. We'll tie it off and we'll finish it with a kukui nut. So all of you should have a kukui nut in your little kit. So can you see how I'm wrapping it and basically making sure that the rat tail looks like a finishing ribbon on top of the floral tape. You just have to hold it tight and continue to circle the floral tape and the dowel. You're going to do this all the way down to where you ended the floral tape, which will be the bottom of the pick. the wired pick. Can you see that? Here's the bottom of the wired pick. Here's the rat tail. And I'm just continuing to wrap it, although I'm really anxious to see how the method that Thomas them are using, the braided method, what that kind of looks like. A new method, that'd be great. Okay. I'm almost done with wrapping the kahili. And you can see it's actually a very nice touch, finishing touch for the kahili itself. Almost done. Just continue to tighten it, tighten the rat tail up against itself, and then it'll come, it's almost there. One more row, and I think I'm there. So I'm going to cut it. And now I have basically a rat tail finishing ends. The two ends of the rat tail, I'm going to tie them together. Okay. I'm going to tie it together. And usually I make a fairly good knot to keep it together because I am going to put the kukui nut on the end of this and tie the kukui nut on. So this is basically the knot for two ends of the rat tail. Now, okay. This next part is pretty tricky. How do you add the rat tail or the kukui nut to your rat tail? Well, I'm going to show you a couple, I'm going to show you the method I use, but I'm going to suggest another method as well. So let me see where my kukui nut is. Oh. So sometimes the kukui nut, the holes are not big enough. So you have to take a pair of scissors to open up those holes a little bit on either end. If you look at the kukui nut, it's shaped like a heart. Okay, which means that the top of the heart should point towards the top of the kahili, and the bottom of the heart should be toward the bottom. So I'm going to open up the holes on both sides a little bit more. Now, I am actually going to use a wire pick, but many of you may not have a wire pick to use because they're all in your kahili. So my suggestion is to use a needle and the thread. Okay, hold on. I got to get back on my chair. I'm slipping off. Okay. So with a wire pick, basically you're going to fold it in half the wire, fold the wire in half. On the kukuina, you're going to go from the bottom hole and try to stick it up through the top hole. Okay, so bottom hole through the top hole. This is the wire pick. This is tricky. Oh, there it is. So let's see. I think, let's see. Can you see that? Yeah. I've stuck it from the bottom hole to the top hole. I'm going to take one end of the rat tail, stick it through the loop that I've made that comes up the top. Know that I'm holding on to the rest of it down here because I'm going to pull it through the kukuina. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to pull it through. There we go. Then I'm going to do the same thing to get the other side through the kukuina. Oh, let's hope that this works. Usually I can get it to work. Know that if you drop it, you have to start all over again, but you can do it. I will explain how to do it with the needle and the thread, which I think is a little easier once I finish this method. Here we go. Oh, see, I am just really lucky tonight. Okay, I'm going to take the other and I'm going to put it through my little hook, a little loop in the wire. And pull it through. Voila. And then pull both of them through. Hold on. Pull both of them through like this. And then tie them on so they don't fall out. So when you do the needle and thread, what you're going to do is you're going to thread the needle through, holding the thread on one side as the needle goes through to the other side. Then you're going to loop the thread and basically take the needle back through the hole at the top, through the hole at the bottom with the loop of thread at the top. Put the end of the ribbon in and then pull it through with the thread. And do it again with that second piece of thread. So here you go. This is the finishing of the kahili itself. It's not hard. It can be frustrating again. Sometimes the holes of the kukui nut are a little small. So take your scissors and drill it just a little larger to be able to go into there with a thread and a needle and to have room to pull your rat tail through. So, does anybody have any questions about the rat tail? No? Is anybody done with their kahili? No, not yet. I am happy to stay on until you folks are all done. Unless you folks, well, because in truth, I want proof that you folks have done it. I want a celebration that this has been completed. Is that too much to ask? No, it's not. You don't have to finish it tonight. If you want to finish it independently, or if you'd like to reach out to me and get more technical assistance, know I am happy to help you finish your kahili, but I am happy to stay on longer with all of you. But I'm thinking about taking a break and getting some dinner.
Yeah. Tercia, Can
Yes.
we email you a picture of our finished products to prove that we did it?
Yes, you can email me or email Joyce.
Joyce, yeah, we can email. No, it's just that I'm kind of tired, that's why.
Of course, I understand that. We have been on for 2 hours now. 2 hours, can you believe it?
Time flies when you're having fun.
There you go. There you go. But I don't want you, I want you to feel supported in this effort. I know my hope is that you will have had a great experience and that you will complete your project and look upon it fondly. But I do not want you to leave without assuring that all of your questions are answered and that you have enough of the knowledge in the education tonight to complete your kahili.
Yes, no,
So
no,
thank you.
thank you. No, thank you. Now I have a better idea and, you know, I can see being a little bit more creative, you know.
Yes.
A little bit more creative.
Yes. So this is my kahili, and I think I kind of cheated in that I only have 3 rows. And it's not quite done. I mean, I have 5 more rows to go. So it's probably going to end up someplace down here. And then so I am going to take it apart. And then I'm seeing holes. So it means that I need to fill them like this. You see this hole? I don't like that. I'm going to fill it or put the picks closer together because to me, that's a good pick placement. This is not good pick placement. Or I might just do 6. Maybe, yeah, 6 rows of 6 or 6 rows of 6 and then the last 4 being at the bottom. I'm not sure. Oh, look, you've done such a wonderful job. Who is that? Is that Monica? No, that's Monica. Monica, you did wonderful.
Well, missed the last part at the end of the kukui knot. You just make another knot.
Oh yes, you tie it on with another knot.
Okay. And then you let the strings all the way go down.
Yes.
Ta-ta! There we go.
Wonderful.
Like this.
Look at this if your feathers are white on the bottom, the last row. You see my feathers?
There's one. I missed count.
Would you, Monica, would you mind taking a picture and sending it to Joyce?
Yeah, I will definitely.
That would be great. Kathleen, are you leaving us?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was fun.
You're welcome, Monica. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Tercia, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
This is Lee.
Yes.
My last row, my flower, my feathers are white underneath. Would that be okay?
Of course.
Yeah. And
Yes.
how would you place the flower? Like, because they're both facing different ways, do you put them in the middle so the feathers are all like that?
You know, so that would be more appropriate for the crown. If it were me, Lee, I would probably redo the
and just
feather.
make it one way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would do that. Yeah.
It'll look fuller. Thank you.
You're
Thank you so
welcome.
much. I had so much fun. I'll take a picture and send it to you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, please send to Joyce.
Okay.
Do you have classes on Oahu for other people on Oahu?
We do offer other workshops, yes.
how can we get in touch with your workshop?
You know what? Let me ask my boss. Also, like Joyce does, Joyce is very good at advocating for the college. So she just asks me, who goes to my boss and says, there's been a request to do a Kāhili workshop by so-and-so. Can I do a Kāhili workshop? And my boss normally, knowing that it's Joyce, she always says yes. But if you have any specific requests for any other group or family, just ask, because my boss is very generous. And like I said, we feel like this is a good activity. It's healthy and it's Hawaiian culture.
Mai kai. Mahalo.
Oh, mahalo to you as well.
You take care. I'm gonna have to go.
Yes.
Thank you so much for for sharing.
Thank
Aloha,
you,
everyone. Take care,
Aloha.
Tercia.
Bye-bye,
Aloha.
Lee.
Thank you,
Aloha.
Joyce.
So Joyce, do you mind if I just take a break and probably just a couple of minutes? I'm going to get something to drink and something to eat, but I'm still going to be here.
Yes, no problem. Thank you so much.
Okay. I'll put on music. No, I'm not really done. But I'm taking a little break.
Like a great companion, the Expedia app has your back throughout your journey because it matters who you travel with. Click to download today.
Let me find some other music.
So thank you. Thank you so much, Tercia.
Oh, you're welcome.
I'm back in my office now.
Oh,
so I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you so much. And but you know, if you want to leave, I wonder how Jane, how are you guys doing? Jane?
It's still
Hello. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, you're coming along. That's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, that looks awesome, Bobby. So I'm happy to stay longer, Bobby, to help you finish up. Is that okay? Or do you feel like you've got enough to be able to finish on your own?
Oh, I have more orange.
Oh, look at that. I gave you the bag.